Alright my friends, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and today we're going to do a review for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now it took me about 46 hours to complete this, and first of all I wanted to start this by, as a content creator, as a reviewer, every once in a while we get the opportunity to play and experience something and review something that we are absolutely passionate about. And Assassin's Creed is one of those franchises that is literally, I play video games because of that. I play video games and I enjoy gaming because of games like Assassin's Creed. Now, Assassin's Creed has been a major thing. So let's give you a little bit of history, just real quick. You know, I review things the way I review things, and if you like that, cool. If you don't, awesome. I mean, hopefully you at least give me a like and a thumbs up, and maybe hit that subscribe button if my reviews do resonate with you. So here's the thing, guys. 2007 rolls along. Assassin's Creed comes out. Obviously, 2007. As a man, you're at that point. Okay, you're at that point where you're either gonna boom right into your career and drop video games until you're, you know, in your 40s, 50s, whatever. You know, maybe you come back to them when you got more free time. You're right at that point at 25 to 27 or whatever, where video games just kind of stop meaning as much in life to you as they once did. So you're at that turning point. Well, 2007 rolls along. Assassin's Creed comes out, and it draws me in. Okay, and I'm like, wow, I love this franchise. And then, you know, a couple of years later, Assassin's Creed 2 comes out. And then it really starts to, you know, grow from that point on. My love for the franchise of Assassin's Creed and the historical factor of this game really just draws me in. It pulls me in. Not every iteration of Assassin's Creed is top notch. Some of them are, you know, not even really that great, but they still serve a purpose and they still entertain me for that time during those years. Because there was a few years from 2007, I would say, you know, 2005 actually, you know, all the way through probably till I don't know, till maybe like 2010, 2011, 2012. Actually, yeah, it was about 2012 when, you know, 2012, 2013, where I actually started getting, you know, more time to actually get back into games. Assassin's Creed is basically what kept me in video gaming throughout those years, where it was where I was getting to a point where I wasn't, you know, really active in gaming anymore. So thanks to Assassin's Creed, I'm still and still have been gaming throughout all of those years. So Assassin's Creed Shadows, my friends, this game, okay, we've all heard the controversy surrounding Ubisoft, so we'll touch on that first. We've all seen the drastic change that Ubisoft has taken from probably Assassin's Creed Odyssey forward, with all the, you know, inclusion, diversity, all of that stuff, putting more of an emphasis on that, and more so in terms of not necessarily, there's always been, if you go back and look through the whole catalog of Ubisoft games, there's always been diversity, there's always been all of this, but there has been more of a shift in recent gaming, probably since 2016, to emphasize those changes even more and draw more attention to them, and, you know, even more so come out and just be like, yeah, this is the way it is, because which didn't even need to be there. They simply just needed to make those games with those characters and just run them. But ever since the tone shifted in why Ubisoft was doing that, that's when the audience backlash started getting more frequent and more just like it was almost like targeted diversity, inclusion, targeted hate feedback toward that, and I mean, for every action there is an equal action, an equal response for everything. So yes, both Ubisoft and the anti-woke bros, they're just as bad as each other. But in the silver lining of things, my friends, in the silver lining, there is a silver lining. So with Assassin's Creed Shadows, I've seen firsthand Ubisoft take a more direct approach to solving the problems that it has created for itself, that the gaming industry as a whole has created for itself, by offering players the opportunity to play a canon mode versus a more open and free mode for the people who really enjoy that choice that is there for you. Whereas the canon mode exclusively strips all of that out and gives you an Assassin's Creed experience that you can be proud of. So guys, let's go ahead and start this review. Sorry about the whole winded intro, whatever. I do apologize about that, but gaming has become so freaking controversial these days that you just kind of, it's like you have to take a minute to talk about things. And with something like Assassin's Creed, I've been playing this for a very long time now, and I love this franchise, and I'd be damned if I'm going to let people go out of their way to steal my sunshine or my fun with this series. But I want to be critical, and I want to be fair, and I want to be unbiased, and I want to be direct in my criticism if there is criticism, throughout my reviews. But first of all, I do need to mention that Ubisoft did provide review key and early access for Assassin's Creed Shadows on the PC. And I am part of the Ubisoft Creators Club now, so I need to mention that. I need you guys to know that. So anything forward or anything, going forward now, I just wanted you guys to know that, so that you know that yes, I did get access to this game. I did get access early, and it did come from Ubisoft. So that is great, and I'm grateful for that. The opportunity to have just a few days extra with Assassin's Creed before anybody gets their hands on it, very, very cool. Very excited about that, and I hope that I can continue in the Ubisoft Creators Club, because I am a Ubisoft fan. When it comes down to it, I love the games they make, but I'm also going to be constructive with my criticism. I'm not just going to search out for rage or hate or anything like that. So let's get into this. Okay, guys, there's enough of that. Let's talk about this, because I am super excited about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I want to talk about some things, because I got a lot to say today. So first of all, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's talk about the visuals. Now, this game is absolutely, undeniably a beautiful open world. From the onset of this game, you're just greeted with these in-your-face visual quality, and it's incredible, and it is every step of the game all the way through. This thing just looks absolutely immaculate, incredible visuals, and they brought back the incredible freaking they brought back the cutscenes, the high quality cutscenes for characters, for different. It's just incredible. When you watch these, you see the facial animations, you see the facial expressions, and it's great. It's incredible. The way Naoe looks most of the time, you see these subtle little smiles that she has. She just looks absolutely amazing. And then with Yasuke, the same thing. You can just see the expression of fear or anger, or just the way that he is able to display certain emotions throughout this game. Absolutely incredible. The way that Naoe expresses her emotions and her feeling, you can see the expressions on their face during the different moments, through sadness, through loss, through anger, through just any of the different, through redemption, through forgiveness. You can see and feel these expressions so well on the faces of these characters. Another incredible addition to this, not just with the visuals, but with the ability to actually play this game in the native language, Japanese or Portuguese, to have the characters speak that and then just kind of read the subtitles. Absolutely, it adds to the immersion, and with the lip sync and all of that stuff, you just still get that emotion. And when you're reading and watching, and it's incredible. The visual representation of Japan, through the 16th century is absolutely incredible. You see the incredible architecture of the buildings, the beautiful shrines, the valleys, the areas leading up to these. It's incredible. I swear when I tell you that every single inch of this world is built to the same standards, I'm not just saying that. I mean it. When you go off path and you try it, when you actually get to a point where you can run up over the mountain, you'll see that even the interior of the mountains are fully detailed, are fully realized to a point where you're like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. And you look at the overall visual quality. You've got the atmosphere in the air. You have the crisp, clean visuals. You have the even on PlayStation 5 Pro, it looks incredible. You get the crystal clear looking water. You get the beautiful lush vegetation all through it. When it's snowing, you see the blizzards and the windstorms, and the amount of work that's went into Assassin's Creed Shadows just in the visuals alone is more than adequate reason for somebody to pick this up just to walk around the Japanese countryside. I'm not even joking. Like, you could literally explore this game as you could literally pretend it's a hiking walking simulator and still get your money's worth out of this, because the visuals of this game are absolutely breathtaking. And I feel like Ubisoft absolutely deserves credit for that. They've made an amazing representation of what Japanese culture, could have looked like back in those days. And I feel like they did everything they could to really show every ounce of respect they could for this Japanese culture in building this game. I love it. I think it's incredible. The next thing that I kind of want to touch on, guys, is characters. And I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit, through the expression of like different emotions and all of that stuff through the characters. I want to talk about Naoe, and I want to talk about Yasuke in a way that, from the way that I received these characters in an Assassin's Creed game. Naoe, 100% the star of the show. Her character is absolutely 100% intertwined with the whole of Japan as Japanese society and as Japanese culture. 100% makes this. She is so integral to the story, and the fact that she is a she. I know that a lot of people will probably be like, "Oh man, I wanted a Japanese male character." I don't think my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. I don't think a male protagonist Japanese character could have given the story the impact that it deserves, or that I felt through Naoe as a female character. I don't think that would have been possible. I don't think that showing the weaknesses and vulnerabilities and how they portrayed it wouldn't have fit. It wouldn't have been. I don't know. Like, I don't think they could have done this and done it justice. It would have had to have been a completely different story. The storyline and the story beats, and Naoe and her father and her mother and all of it, like, it would have had to have been different. Like, it would have had to have been different. It would have just had to have been a more male-driven role in Japan as a shinobi or samurai or something. It would have had to have been a more, in that time period. I watched this Japanese thing on Netflix, and from the understanding I got, it was like all of these different faction leaders and daimyos and stuff like that, they were all vying for this power, and I don't feel like a male protagonist could have. It would have had to have been a different storyline, because you're Naoe, you're a female, you're a shinobi, and you're an assassin. I don't want to ruin the story for you. You have to play this for yourself, and you have to like decide that for yourself. But in my opinion, I think Naoe's perfect, absolutely perfect. And I feel like, oh gosh, like her skill set, the way she runs, the way she deals with things when you're having conversations or when you solve a problem. I think Naoe fits perfectly. And never once did I think, oh man, I wish she was a male protagonist. Never, not once. From the onset of her story, you know immediately that this is going to fit and this is going to be perfect. Like, I just knew immediately that from the first few minutes of in getting engaged in her story, I knew immediately that Naoe was going to be an awesome character. I knew that. The same with Yasuke. Within the first 18 minutes of the opening game, I knew that Yasuke was the perfect decision for this story. in ancient Japanese culture, especially this time period. I don't think that the people out there grifting over Yasuke really grasp or understand the reason why Yasuke as a protagonist works out perfectly for this game. And it all ties back to just the male-dominated culture of this specific time period in Japan, where, you know, Nobunaga is like this reigning figure that everybody else is. I just, yeah, like Yasuke having a different perspective that's not 100% tied to Japanese culture kind of makes him the perfect protagonist, you know, the perfect side protagonist for this. Guys, I don't. It's deeper than just, oh man, there's a black guy in a Japanese game. It's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. And once you play it, you're gonna understand. Like once you start controlling Yasuke, you're gonna understand it immediately. Like you're gonna be like, okay, like this makes perfect sense. Like this is a perfect choice of character for this game. Now, yeah, like I said, for this story, for the character, for the historical figures involved in this story, you literally have to. Forgive me if my wording is like a little weird on this, just because I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I'm trying to convey why. I'm trying to convey why Yasuke makes sense over a Japanese male protagonist, or you know what I mean? Like he is just that. He's that perfect embodiment of how to deal with the power struggle of Japan at this time frame. He's the perfect embodiment of how to deal with this power struggle among the other known historical figures in Japan at the time, from an outsider's point of view, being like, okay, I'm just here to, you know, like serve justice or do this or something, you know. It gives the story a little bit of a, it works and it fits and it feels good. And I was like, okay, yeah, that worked out perfectly for me. Like I didn't feel like it took anything away from the Japanese culture. I feel like it added to it so well. And it made it so much sense, because after watching the thing on Netflix, you kind of just, from the historians or whatever, you just kind of get the sense that like this was a very brutal period in time for Japan. And, you know, having somebody like Yasuke in there to like kind of, you know, not be on that same like mindset as all the other Japanese, you know, historical figures, and to have like a different perspective, but also have his own internal struggles and things that he's dealing with, and what, you know, like being captured and brought there in the first place. You know, I thought it was good. I thought it was very cool. And I think that Yasuke's story is probably one of the best told in Assassin's Creed to date as a historical figure. I literally think that this is the most in-depth protagonist or historical figure that's ever had such care delivered to their storyline that is like, wow, this is insanely good. So yeah, I hope you guys don't pass that up over that. Like that would be stupid. You like that would be the dumbest decision you ever made. And remember, you can get Ubisoft Plus and play this game for like $20, under $20. So even right now, today. So it shouldn't be a money thing. A money thing should not prevent you from actually enjoying and experiencing this incredible story. So characters aside, NPCs, historical figures, all of the other stuff in this game, very well done. All of the NPCs look very good. Like the overall quality of detail in the characters, very, very nice. Cutscenes, absolutely incredible. I think they did a very good job with the characters, you know, obviously playing with the Japanese voiceover, absolutely incredible. 100% added to the immersion. So I was really excited about that. So the world. We talked about this a little bit in the visual representation. The world is absolutely incredible. It's very big. There's lots of big cities, really cool checkpoints, or not checkpoints, but viewpoints. I think probably some of the most creative we've seen in a very long time. Definite, you know, massive sense of scale. The the world is great. There's a lot of cool places. There's a lot of new climbing puzzles for secrets and stuff like that. A lot of hidden areas, stuff like that. Very, very cool. Obviously, with this change of the seasons, you get to experience these areas, and they're never the same twice. Like they're always changing. They're rapidly evolving and stuff like that. So you're always going to be able to revisit places that you've already seen and see them in a different light. So the world gets an absolute 10 for me. This is incredible. This game has a lot of replay value just in the world design alone, in the overall experience that you're going to be able to have exploring this world. Combat. So combat is probably the weakest point for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Just in terms of how it can feel really spongy if you are playing on a higher difficulty or whatever. I feel like the combat in these open world Assassin's Creeds, that's always kind of been just a weak spot for me, with Assassin's Creed Shadows actually being the better one out of them, because with Odyssey, or like Odyssey or Valhalla or something, it's just like the combat was just, I never really cared much for the combat in these games as much as I did something like, say, like The Witcher 3 or something like that. In an RPG game, I like that. I don't like the fact that my attack is tied to the bumper buttons. I don't really like that, but the combat's not bad. I mean, it is serviceable. This is probably by far the biggest step forward for the open world combat in Assassin's Creed games. It's really a lot more. I found it to be more enjoyable to play this, especially with Nawe and Yasuke. I found the combat to be more enjoyable. I'm still normally I wouldn't even have put as much time into the combat as I am right now. With this, I'm actually trying to learn like different moves, and there's like katas and stuff that you can go around and learn. Very, very cool, and they actually do work in game. If you definitely use the buttons, because now you can like hold the attack button to kind of charge it to do so. There's a lot more nuance to the combat, so it's definitely not the strongest point. This, like I said, it's probably still a little bit on the weaker side. It's probably the weakest link for this game for me, but still definitely the more I learn, the better it's getting. But I've only got 46 hours, so yeah. As I continue to play this game, because I will be continuing to play this, we'll get more in depth into this combat and stuff like that. Stealth is probably the strongest part when it comes to this game. So now you have the ability to put on expert stealth, which will open up a whole new level of how stealth is going to work in this game. So if you've ever played a Splinter Cell game, so if you've ever played like the older Splinter Cells where like you would be in the shadow and you're hidden, where you come out in the light and the different lighting and stuff like that, is going to, perceive how much more you can be seen or not seen. This is incredible. And we're not just talking about just like the lighting and all of that stuff. We're also talking about sound. So like, say you're in one of these castles. Now these castles, the way the floors are built, like when I went into one, and this is how I noticed it. You go in there to take out like one of the bosses. I don't remember exactly what his name was, but early on, I'm going through this castle as Yasuke. And I'm just walking, and you can hear the floor like squeak, squawk, squeak, squawk. And it's like, what the hell? You're like walking around, and it's like thum, thum, thum. And you can hear like this thing. Even when you're crouched, you like walking around with Yasuke, you can still hear the weight distribution of the floors and how they acted back then, because they're like a bamboo floor or something. So you get like this sag or whatever, and it just unsettles things, due to the weight of Yasuke. But if you're Nawe, you can freaking run around these places like a mouse. Like it adds so much different, like it adds a lot to the immersion, like how you're playing this game, which character you're using. Yasuke himself, not very good at stealth at all. Like he's like a bull in a china shop. Whereas Nawe, she's built for this. She's incredibly she's just built for it. She's fast, she's agile. You can do a lot. Plus, you also have the grappling hook as hers that you can hook onto the ceiling and pull yourself up there, like in a Tinshu, Wrath of Heaven. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like I'm sitting there on the ceiling. I didn't do it a lot because I wasn't always in buildings, but the level of stealth ability in this game is absolutely incredible. So now you can actually go prone. So you've never been able to go prone. Like you could like hunch over and kind of run, bend over or whatever. Now you have the ability to go prone, and not only go prone, but you can crawl in through weeds into water. And then you can also get yourself a bamboo straw so you can breathe underwater. So you can practice stealth underwater. You literally can use the shadows as you're sneaking up on a compound. Like I'm not even joking. And I'm doing this and I'm going through here and I'm sneaking up on, I think like one that I really tried and I was like, okay, I want to try to get this right, was getting into Nobunaga's base itself when that part of the story got there. I'm like, this is a while into the story. This is before you can even start playing as Yasuke. I'm experimenting because once Yasuke opened up, I was using his character a lot. So I was less focused on just one. I was bouncing between both of them. So I didn't really get the whole opportunity to like really focus heavily on just one character, where I was like, constantly feeling like, oh man, I need to try to use him or try to use her, or just like thinking and stuff. As Nawe sneaking into this compound, running through like the shadows and stuff, like, oh man, I was getting Splinter Cell vibes so bad. Like I was like, man, I really hope they remake that first game and bring it out soon because this is incredible. So yeah, so you can go into the water, you can crawl through the water, you can breathe under the water, you can hide in the bushes, all of that stuff. But the vegetation is also destructible too. So if you get into a fight, and you're using the Kusurigama, and you're like spinning it around, it's going to cut down the bamboo trees, it's going to cut down the bushes, all of that stuff. So you have to try to be a little bit more careful in how you approach these situations. Now, you can play Assassin's Creed Shadows very stealthily. Like all of the stuff is there to play this stealthily. Climbing under buildings, climbing up and through floors, going down through the top. There's a lot. So take your time and like really plan some of this stuff out. Maybe do reconnaissance, stuff like that if you can or whatever. But there's like some missions that I'm like, man, I wish I could replay that right now. Like just have like the ability to like replay missions or something, because yeah, like there's so many different things I would have done differently had I had the opportunity to like not be like blind playing through the game. It's like, oh my gosh, guys. So yeah, it's really, really cool. There's a couple of endings, Nawe gets his own, or Nawe gets her own ending. Yasuke gets his own ending. Once you complete both of them, then you get like the credits or whatever. The credits will roll. I thought Yasuke's ending was significantly better than Nawe's ending, but I feel like I was reading something about an epilogue that I haven't played yet. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something more I need to do to get like the real ending for like Nawe. So, but the credits have already rolled. That's why I'm reviewing the game. But it seems like there's still more I need to do for her, because I feel like Yasuke's ending was way better, whereas Nawe's ending was good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good, but it was like, I feel like there should have been more for her ending. Like, I feel like there's more. There's something clearly more that's going to happen for Nawe's ending. So, story-wise, my friends, I would put Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would put Shadows high, pretty high. I feel like in the terms of the overall assassin, the overall assassin's storyline, I would say that Shadows it's good, but I don't want to spoil anything, because there are ties to, okay, so because this is something that I was like really happy when I saw it, so I don't want to spoil it at all. Let's just say that the story interweaves like it doesn't really feel like one of the like Origins, or it doesn't really feel like Origins or Odyssey or Valhalla in terms of like the mythical stuff, at least that I've seen yet. It feels more grounded. I would say it's a good one. It deals with a lot of different subjects, and I feel like it gives them equal time to the point where like you can flesh some of these out even more just by playing, just by reading some of the lore, by doing some of this stuff. This is a longer game. Honestly, you could easily put over 150 hours into this game if you really flesh out each of the storylines that are in here, because there are multiple. Like Yasuke has his very own story and everything that you could probably easily get 50, 60 hours out of. And the same goes for Naue. So, and then there's also the factions and stuff like that you could go through and like flesh out some of that story. So I would say the story wise, in terms of it being an Assassin's game, definitely has those arches there. So you're going to love that. You're going to love the new, you know, like the modern-ish Assassins part of it. And then you're also going to, the ancients, like the Order of the Ancients kind of stuff, you're gonna appreciate that too. So yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack. I wish you guys the best of luck with this. If you want my honest opinion on like a rating for Assassin's Creed Shadows, I would give this a solid 9. Okay, you're right. I do hand out 10s like candy. I would give this a solid 9 easily, just because of the fact that like, in most regards, it's an easy 10. It's an easy 10, like in most regards. But for it being a 9, it's just the fact that like when I look at Assassin's Creeds, like I have a different rating in my head for them, and this one here gave me a 9 because, you know, when I played, so I'm 46 hours in, I've seen the credits roll, okay, and I wasn't really doing anything differently from what I would do in like Valhalla or Odyssey or even Origins for that fact. For feeling like it was cut back to like 60 hours to like see the credit roll, that's where I kind of feel like it, like there's a lot of story there, but you kind of have to like, it's not as cut and dry as something like Odyssey, or, you know, Odyssey was different because it felt like I was on this Odyssey. So I'm like doing all this stuff a little bit differently, like the side quests are pulling me into a different direction, or I'm doing this, or I'm running off and doing that. Like the side quests on Odyssey were pretty much directed to distract you from the main quest. Whereas in Shadows, it's almost like everything that has to do with the side quest is an assassination. So you do those, and it feels like there's just more and more and more of those. So you kind of know what to expect. And there are other side quests, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, running into those versus, you know, it makes it too easy for you to just kind of select the main story stuff, you know, to kind of say it. Assassin's Creed Shadows makes it really easy to just stay focused. If that makes any sense. That's why I'm giving it a 9. Because with the other games, the side quests, while some of them might have been dumb or whatever, or like kind of like time wasters, they were able to pull your attention away. You know, like if you get in there and you like set up the stuff and you're like, I don't know, like maybe I was just too dead focused on like getting through this one in a set amount of time so that I could review it, because this is the first one that I've had like that. Well, obviously Assassin's Creed Mirage, but Mirage was like a 17-hour game. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard on it because I was essentially like rushing myself instead of playing it like I normally would. I still feel like I played it like I normally would. I don't know. You know what, guys? This is a tough one, man. I don't want to take away from it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. And that, you know, as I play this game, as I continue to create content for it, and as I continue to play it, a 9. Odyssey is probably still going to remain my favorite as of now. Odyssey is still safe as my favorite Assassin's Creed ever, but Shadows is absolutely, without question, my second favorite Assassin's Creed game of all time. Without question. Easily. Like Odyssey, there's still, like Odyssey was a very special time for me when I played that game. And I am super drawn to Roman and Greek history. So yeah, Odyssey is like very, very big in that realm of like this is like my favorite Assassin's Creed game ever. But in terms of like shadows, yeah, easily 1 place. No questions asked. Like I can't even look back at the rest of the Assassin's Creed games and even consider putting one of those. Like seriously, even Ezio's collection. I'm sorry. Like I love Assassin's Creed 2, 3, or 2, Brotherhood, Revelation. I love them all. I love them all. Like I love them, and they are very high up there. But there's no question, like without question, Assassin's Creed Shadows is an easy like 2nd place, like for real, like easy. Yeah, like this game is incredible. Like it's just got so much to it that is gonna make you happy that I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin sometimes. Seriously, like when I think about Assassin's Creed Shadows and the experience that it's given me, like throughout the whole week, like it's all I could think about. I mean, think about it. Look at the channel. Look at the channel. Everything's been Assassin's Creed Shadows. I literally live streamed it 9 hours yesterday. Okay. When have I ever live streamed a game for 9 straight hours? Like when have I given up like all the other content that I make to just cover one game? Like it's been a while, my friends. Like this is a good game. This is a solid game. Definitely worth your money. Definitely worth your time. I'm not just saying that. Like it's literally worth your time. Like I'm still literally thinking in my brain, I want to play Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I would have done, you know, I wanted to do like a bigger drawn out, you know, review for this game, but unfortunately I just don't have the time. It's already Sunday. It's halfway through Sunday to go through and like really do like a whole bunch of different, like cutting out videos and all of that kind of stuff. That would take a long time, but I'm still going to be covering Assassin's Creed Shadows for the foreseeable future. Like you're going to have gameplay video and a lot of upcoming videos, like trust and believe. So, all right, my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope that I did. I hope that I was fair. I hope that I was at least unbiased to the point where, you know, it sheds light on what you're getting and everything like that. I love this game and I'm very excited for you to play it, and I hope you do play it. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have fun.